Hey everybody, welcome back to Read 'em and Weeb. My name is Davie. On the other end here is my friend Esau.
What if I was just a different person this time?
That'd be so funny. I just replaced you like for one episode. No, it's just like a floating Esau balloon. Like you couldn't make it. So for the next 3 episodes, I'm like voicing you. You're like, I think this is pretty good. I think it's bad.
You just have someone sitting here with an Esau balloon in front of them. They have to hold it the whole time.
Yeah, they're like,
I agree.
no, you're actively disagreeing with me. You're just like, I hate that actually. And while we're at it, Naruto's bad. And like, Esau's Naruto's not bad. Yes, it is.
Yeah, but that's like my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to be.
Yeah. I think Naruto's bad.
I disagree. No, so thank you for everyone who's been watching our TikToks. I've been on a roll with them.
Yeah.
I've kind of found a method that works for me. And so I put them out. We had somebody comment because I was opening up about like, oh, Naruto's like my favorite story and it means a lot to me. And so to cover it and feel like I'm not doing it justice would be like a lot for me, like as a
doing a disjustice, you mean?
A disjustice, yeah. Would be it would suck for me as like one, a writer, and two, a fan. And this guy was just like, this is so fucking cringe. And then I just responded, I was like, I know, like,
bro, we're a manga channel.
Like I don't read manga to get hoes. Like what the fuck? I'm cringe.
I'll be honest, I do. Doesn't work, but like that's what
I'm trying.
I'm trying everything I can, man.
Yeah.
Out there, manga guys are your thing. Find somebody else. I got manga to read.
Yeah.
That'll get them.
I actually messaged this girl on Tinder because she was like, "Oh
you
yeah,
like manga?"
No, she was like, "Oh, I love manga." Like in her bio, she was like, "I love manga." And then we were talking, and I wasn't like my opener. And then I was like, "Oh, what are you up to?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm just reading this like manga." Like she was reading Jujutsu Kaisen, and I was like, "Oh, cool." Like I haven't read. I've only read the first volume, but it seemed pretty cool. I haven't read it yet. She's like, "Oh, what's your favorite manga?" And I was like, "Oh, Naruto." And she's like, "I didn't like Naruto." And I was like, "Oh, okay, like whatever." And she's like, "Yeah." And I think he's annoying, and I think it's like really bad. And I was like, "We are not gonna get along as people."
How did you read Jujutsu Kaisen and be like, "Yeah, Naruto's annoying"?
That's what I'm saying. Cause like I've seen, cause I don't. Oh, here's the thing. I don't hate Jujutsu Kaisen. I do. He does.
That's an exaggeration. I don't like it because I think it's bad.
I think it's like whatever, you know. I'm sure that it gets hype as like I keep going.
I'm gonna be honest. It's the opposite for me. I was like, "Wow, this starts off pretty good." Like the first volume, you read it, you were like, "Oh, this is pretty good." It stays pretty good for a while, and then I was like, "You've lost me."
I hear a lot of people that are like, "Oh, this is so fucking sick," and like I'll probably really enjoy it.
When I get it for you for Christmas.
Yeah, spoiler.
I didn't get it for you for Christmas.
Okay, spoiler. Now I gotta cross that off my list. Not Jujutsu Kaisen, probably Fairy Tail.
All right, so I didn't do this because I'm not rich, but I was tempted to buy a Fairy Tail box set for me and then replace it with the one I was getting for you, like the actual thing.
Yeah,
like put all the books in there. But that means I'd have to buy Fairy Tail for me and then risk you buying it for me.
Yeah.
And then my other joke was, what if I just bought you the Fairy Tail thing and then replaced every volume with volume 1?
So for context, we're doing a gift exchange for the channel.
Be out before this.
It will. Yeah. No, it will be out before this. I didn't realize how like far back we had
our backlog.
Yeah. Because I was doing our last episode. So at the time of recording this, the last episode of Dragon Ball just went out. And so like was episode 4 of Pokemon. So we're at 3 weeks ahead. But we recorded
it's 9/11, but when we're recording this,
yeah. We recorded Dragon Ball end of October. And we recorded for like we recorded that. And then now it's gonna be December. So we're pretty like well ahead. So it sucks that we have a lot going on in between episodes or batches because like it feels like sometimes we'll be outdated about shit that we're talking about. Which luckily we haven't done yet because we haven't said any like time. What's the word? Like it's like
I'm letting you collapse here.
No, we haven't had any like memes that have been like time sensitive, like Skibbity Toilet, you know.
Well, that's a timeless classic, man.
But so it's been fine, you know. One thing that I've noticed too is like, so when we started recording shit, a lot of the Israel Palestine stuff has been going on. And I'm not gonna get too far into that. I just want to say that like we're not, because I think it's important to say like, hey, we stand with Palestine.
We stand with Palestine.
I just don't want it to seem like we're just kind of ignoring that, because I feel like it's hard to, no matter what your show is, you know. So that's like why I personally, because I'm very
if you wanted
outspoken.
to talk about Israel Palestine, we should have just read Attack on Titan.
No, because well, that's the thing. We didn't know. Like, we didn't know that this was gonna happen. That's what I'm saying. It's like, so it's not that we're like weirdly silent about it. It's that like,
I mean, I feel like it's weird that we're like I feel like it's weird if we shoehorn that into a manga podcast. That's like
I don't think so, because
not even like touching on topics similar. If we were reading Attack on Titan during this time, I'd been like, yeah, we definitely should talk about this.
No. I don't think we have to dive into it too much. I just think that
fuck manga podcast. We're a political podcast now.
No, this is just my segue of like, I'm gonna leave links in the description.
Oh, for supporting
things. That's all I wanted to like bring that up for. But it's just the fact that we record so in advance and these are scheduled in advance that like we haven't brought it up. So that's pretty much that on that. So links will be below. Check it out, read up on it. But I don't know how I segued from Jujutsu Kaisen to here, but I was talking about the Tinder story. Yeah, no, she was just like shitting on Naruto for like a weird amount of time. And I'm like, you like Jujutsu Kaisen?
Honestly, send her my way.
She's perfect for you.
Yeah.
But she likes Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, but like, then I should talk to her.
Oh yeah, and then you could be like, listen, I love Fairy Tail.
Well, no, but I think that's bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I'm aware things can be bad and I can like them. I read 100 Girlfriends.
We have to do... How long is that?
Right now, it's 7 volumes. There's 7 volumes out right now.
You want to do that for Valentine's Day?
Yes.
Okay. There we go. We'll make a calendar.
This'll be out. That'll be out before this. It won't be out. It'll actually be out pretty soon after this comes out.
No, yeah, it'll be the next one. That's all I wanted to bring the Tinder girl for. She was just weirdly hating on Naruto, and that's the thing. If you hate Naruto, whatever, fuck it, I don't care. It's not the greatest story in the world. It's the biggest fumbled ending I've ever seen in my life. Besides Sword Art Online, that one actually is the biggest fumbled ending I've ever seen in my life.
That's right. The end. Floor 70. Isn't there 100 floors? We're tired.
Yeah. I ran out of ideas for the floors.
After writing that huge canon sex scene, I got bored.
You did do that.
Yeah. You can't make fan fiction of something you created because then it just becomes canon. Is your monitor okay? Is it supposed to be doing that? That looks broken. No, that's definitely a design. Okay, never mind.
You scared me.
Sorry. For me, it's moving now, but it was a static thing of one purple with like a line through it and the rest was black. And I was like, that looks broken.
You were looking at the Mac Finder. You were like, your folders window looks like a face.
Oh, no.
Rick, when did you switch to Mac? Morty, I use Linux.
Morty, are you fucking stupid? I obviously made my own fucking OS. Why does it just look like a Mac? Shut up, Morty!
I call it Linux. I made Linux.
You don't know how Linux works.
I don't.
You know, you can use that extra computer you have like a Linux box. Learn how to use Linux on it.
I could.
Learn how to code, like you've been telling me you want to.
Yeah, but like I have enough hobbies.
Do you?
You know how much time do I have, bro? Like I can't.
Yeah, that's right. You still have to finish Steins Gate.
True. Also, segue. This will probably be out by the time that this is out. I made a music video for my friend, and it's done, and it's on our parent channel, Dandelion. So
our daddy channel.
It'll be in the description below. I had a lot of fun making it. We made it in like a night. So
I like to imagine you're not done with it,
No,
but I know, but like I like to imagine you're like it was really fun making it. You hadn't made it yet.
hadn't made it yet,
It's
yeah.
just your ideas right now.
Yeah. We're gonna shoot it today. It'll be out. Yeah. So we're just doing the legal stuff, and then I'll put it out. I'm actually writing a pilot for a cartoon right now. I'm hoping to get it made, but at the very least, I'm entering screenwriting contests. And I was leaning into that whole like anime video game aesthetic, similar to Scott Pilgrim, in like kind of like a inspirational sense, but like the subject matter is completely different.
Yeah.
But it has stuff like that where it's like whose fucking idea was that? Ding.
I like fourth wall breaky things like that.
Mm-hmm.
The 100 Girlfriends manga does that a lot. In the very first chapter, they're explaining like the premise of why he gets 100 girlfriends. And the guy explaining it to him, and he's just repeating it like, wow. And then eventually the guy goes, stop repeating everything I say. We have so much to cover in this first chapter, and you're already wasting so many panels.
You know, Krillin does that in DBZ. He does that in the Boo Saga for some reason.
Does he?
Yeah. It's like some throwaway line where he's like, it's like something about like, oh man, this reminds me of like Volume 6 or something. It's weird. It's like, it's in the Boo. I remember that panel of him in the Boo Saga, and he just says something like Fourth Wally. It's weird. Because the last time they've done that was Dragon Ball.
Isn't there like a panel where Goku kicks somebody so hard they break the top panel?
It's Yamcha in the... Yeah.
I remember that.
What's it called? There was one joke I wrote, and I thought it was really funny. I'll probably cut this out because I have to. So Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put you down.
Mine's gonna be in frame.
Mine.
Because unlike you, mine can be in frame.
Yeah. So we read Volume 4 of Pokemon Adventures.
Introduces my favorite character.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just get into it. So
actually, I lied. It reintroduces my favorite character. We've actually seen them already.
Yeah, but we actually learn who they are.
Amarillo.
Yeah, our fucking Spanish king.
Yeah. For some reason.
Yeah.
He's from the forest, and they're like, he's speaking Spanish. He must be from the Viridian Forest.
I was like, oh, so Spanish people exist in this in this world. Yeah. So we follow Yellow.
Who? You mean Amarillo?
Amarillo. Yellow for short. So we follow Yellow because it's been 2 years since the last arc.
Yeah.
And Red has become,
he's champion.
He's the champion. He's a well-known trainer, to people in the world. So he gets challenges a lot. And Red takes a challenge and disappears. Because the Elite Four, who are just a gang of evil people.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I'm also confused. Is there 4 of them plus Lance?
I thought he was one of the 4.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused. Isn't that not how it was in the game? No, it was how... Okay, never mind. I take it back.
Champion was
Sorry.
blue.
I keep forgetting that the old champion is blue in the games.
Yeah. It is weird, because I do forget that fact, because I always think of like, oh, who is the champion in Red, but it was blue.
Yellow.
Yeah, so we meet Yellow. They're interesting. I'm having a lot of fun reading these chapters because it does feel like we talked about earlier, very well paced.
Yeah.
And not to say that the last 2-3 books were paced badly, but they were very fast.
The first one, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, was paced badly.
Yeah, but it gave us the information we needed to.
Yeah. It wasn't done badly. It was just paced badly.
Yeah. And it felt like those first couple of chapters were like, okay, we need to...
You played the game? Look at all this game reference. Anyway, story.
Yeah. So what probably also happened was that they needed like chapters to show like Game Freak and Nintendo, and then they'd be like, yeah, keep going. So that's also something they probably had to do.
Stop. No more.
Yeah. And so now they get to do their own new arc, kind of, because they're using the Elite Four, but now it's completely new, and they're going off the Yellow game. And with this new character who's very different than Red.
Yeah. So Yellow, what do you think about Yellow, actually? Give me all your opinions on Yellow and how special they are.
I think it's nice how different they are from Red. I think they're interesting. I think their childlike innocence is a nice change of pace, where we have a character who doesn't like hurting Pokemon, and that includes in battle. So they'll find ways to win their encounters without hurting any of their Pokemon or any of their opponent's Pokemon. I find that interesting. It feels like they really don't. They're in this adventure by circumstance and not because they have any drive to really be the best. And I find that just like interesting and endearing.
Yeah. So for those who don't remember, Yellow, we actually meet Yellow a volume or two ago.
I think it was last volume.
Last volume, I obviously brought that up, where fucking Red meets them in the forest. When he's traveling, getting attacked by Pokemon, he helps them out. And he teaches them how to catch Pokemon, and he catches them a Rattata, which we actually see that they still have. And that starts their connection. That's why Pika, which apparently is his nickname.
Yeah, because everyone's like, Pika, you mean that Pika? What the fuck?
Like my brother in Christ, his name is Pikachu.
The only person who brings that up is Bill, because he's like, well, I mean, it could be a common nickname. It probably isn't that one. And then he shocks him, and then he's like, the similarities continue.
Pikachu shocking me. Only one has ever done that. Ever.
I've only met one Pikachu. It must be Reds.
I might have knocked down your Bulma.
It's fine. Oh yeah, Goku caught her.
Oh, let's go. But it's weird to say the least. Also, they have a Doduo, which is actually one of my favorite Pokemon in Gen 1. It's weird. It's like my go-to flying Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because it can't fly.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, so the story starts with Pika just coming back like hella damaged after Red's entire fucking mess. We see Red getting the challenge and never coming back, and then Pika shows up fucking dying, and then Yellow just heals them.
Yeah,
that's like his special. He got like a couple of special powers. He can heal Pokemon by touching them, and he can like read their minds.
Yeah, like he can like look at their memories.
I think he was looking vicariously through Pikachu at one point, and maybe 2 points.
Yes, he can do that too.
He also has like weird control over his fishing rod.
Yeah. It's really funny that he can do all that, because like we see, is this in the next volume? No, this is the end of this one. So I'm going to skip ahead here. We see someone else kind of do that, and it's Blue, where he can communicate and see through Psyduck. No, Golduck.
Yeah. That was such a weird moment where he's talking through the Pokedex through Golduck. Brother in Christ, just tell Golduck to attack the fucking Gengar.
Yeah. I think he was very much like, you have to do it, kid. Like, and I don't know why. Fucking put your pride away, and then, like, this is not a good teaching moment.
Yeah, Gengar is weak to Psychic. Oh, also, there was another point in the manga that didn't make sense. So Bill and Yellow get caught in by the Seadra, and Pika is there, and Yellow's like, but Pika's weak to water. No, he isn't. Wrong.
Yeah, I felt gaslit for a second. I was like, oh, I don't know how to play this game.
Yeah. So clearly the manga follows different rules than everything else.
Yeah. You can 4v1 a trainer. You could 4v1 the champion and become the Elite Four champions, I guess.
Well, I don't know if they 4v1'd him. I think he just lost.
I'm assuming they 4v1'd him.
At least 2v1'd him.
At the very least.
You think I would remember, but I have no idea, actually.
Yeah. I have an inkling of a feeling that it's going to be like, oh, we were fighting, and then 3 more people popped up in Jump Me.
Yeah. Also, Bruno has this weird Hitmonlee, actually. So Hitmonlee's whole thing is his legs stretch. This Hitmonlee's arms also stretch. I think that's what makes this one special. Like, it's really interesting to see how different all these newer trainers are. Because the Elite Four are literally the top of the top.
Yeah. I wonder what I wonder where the anime was at with when these were coming out, because I wonder if they had enough. There wasn't enough like source material, including the games, to make up their own kind of lore where they're like, oh, he can stretch his legs, but he can also do his arms. Water is stronger than electricity. But the games would have been like,
yeah,
no,
the games would have been out, presumably.
Yeah, but it'd be so fun if they didn't play the game.
I never played the game.
Yeah, I just wrote it.
Yeah. Another thing is that disc came back that we thought Green had.
Mm-hmm.
Green does not have it. It was just in the rubble of Silphco. And Agatha is just like, mine.
Yeah, I was wondering why that would be left behind.
Without any of the badges. I guess it took the badges. That made sense, but...
My thing is, I think it's funny that I thought it had the badges.
Nope, doesn't have the badges. They took them. Red has them.
Makes sense.
Or at least has some of them.
Makes sense. You would think that Green would have went back for it, or somebody.
Green would have just not left it.
Yeah. Well, the last time she used it, she accidentally made Quattros.
Love the name.
Thank you. And you know, she did that, and then I would have dropped it in fear too. I don't know.
I'd have been like, you know what? Maybe this is too much power for me.
Yeah.
Also, we finally get hold up. Is this in this volume where we get like a reason why Green is helping? Green is helping Yellow, by the way. How did they meet? I have no idea. But this whole volume, I really like. Is there anything you want to talk about specifically about not Yellow, specifically?
Yeah, I think the supporting cast gets to do a lot more, which I really enjoy. I'm just gonna refrain from like, you know, because I think we've been kind of summarizing a lot what's going on for the last couple episodes. I'm gonna refrain from doing that a little bit. If you want to read it yourself. And then come back here. The supporting cast gets to do a lot. I really like what they're doing with the gym leaders and Professor Oak, where they feel more like a team, and because of what happened with Team Rocket, it feels like they're more united and working together much more than what we've seen, at least so far. And I like that they realistically are like, hey, Yellow, who the fuck are you? And why should we trust you to do this?
Why are you stealing the champion's Pokemon?
Yeah. Like
God's strongest Pikachu.
Yeah. Like, this Pikachu single-handedly won the championship. Can you give it back? Like, we're trying to find Red.
I also like the idea of like combo attacks.
Yeah.
Really interesting. In like early in the volume, there's a dugong and a vagina, a cloister, teaming up to send like horn drills with like super massive impact to like kill people. And the idea of like that stuff is really, it's like iterating on what happened in the championship, where Red did that with his Pokemon to strike down Charizard with lightning.
One thing that I really like is it fills the gaps in my mind as a kid where I was like, why wouldn't they fucking fight with all their Pokemon?
Yeah.
Like, what's the 1v1ing for?
Yeah, and they keep doing that with that super nerd that's just pretending to be Ash. Red.
Yeah. Oh, also, I like how they kind of went out of their way to be like, yeah, it's been 2 years. They're all like a little bit like older.
Yeah. Their hair is slightly longer, all of them.
Yeah, and they made Red look a little taller. Blue looks the same to me, except with a scarf. So
yeah, but he looks sick as fuck. He looks so cool.
He does look cool. He does look cool. Yeah, but Red's the only one who looks like older. Because Green also just kind of looks the same to me.
Well, Green hasn't got a lot of screen time, to be fair.
That's fair. But Red was the only one I'm like, oh yeah, he's like visibly taller.
Anyway, the super nerd, he does some, like, the super nerd is just pretending to be Red. Not, Red.
Yeah.
To steal the Pikachu, which is, like, I get that Red is famous now, but, like, what are you gonna do with his Pikachu, man? You fucking freak.
Yeah. He also punched the shit out of Erica?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Sabrina's the other one, right?
The psychic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Erica. Yeah, he punched the shit out of her to the point where she's like, I gotta rest. he punched me really hard.
Oh, fuck, man. I didn't know people could hit that hard. Maybe we should stop using Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you've been hit by so many Pokemon attacks, but how hard? Because it looked like he punched her really fucking hard.
Yeah. He gives her a fucking sucker punch to the gut. Yep. And she's just out for the count. Also, this guy's like I'm not really sure what his whole thing was. I thought he was working for the Elite Four or Team Rocket or something. He just wants this Pikachu.
I thought he was working for the Elite Four.
I don't think so.
Because he had to bring it back to Agatha.
I thought he just wanted it.
Nah, he was like, I think he literally says like, oh, I have to bring it back to Agatha. It's the thing.
You know what? If only we knew.
Yeah, if only we had a way to reference it.
Yeah.
We actually don't read these.
He also calls Yellow Baby Braid, which made me laugh.
One of my favorite, and this probably might not be the best time to bring it up just because of us being like, oh, I don't remember this happened. One of my favorite comments on TikTok have been like us saying something about something we just read, referencing the pages that it happened, and somebody commenting, that's not real. That's not how it happened. What do you mean?
All right, so for clarification, we were talking about Goku's teachers, and I said Kami didn't even teach Goku. And this is very true. There's a page where Kami's like, I left most of your training up to Master Popo. I don't know jack shit about how strong you are.
He says that.
Yeah. And some dude was like, bro, Kami trained him. And then he's like, said, I think he pulled like an anime, what's called. And I was like, no, he didn't. And then I just quoted it on my personal account, unfortunately, but you know.
I think it's just so funny. It's just like, bro, we read it. Like, or we were talking about something and then there was, I forgot what it was. Somebody got really upset about what we said. We were talking about Red Ribbon Army Goku.
Right.
And we were like, Goku is like a wild child. He really has no sense of good or evil. He's just kind of doing things.
And I pointed out he killed all those people.
Yeah. And then somebody was like, bro, he protected the earth. What do you mean? And then I was like, we literally said we're talking about Red Ribbon Army Goku.
Yeah. Because I was saying how he didn't do this because he's like, the Red Ribbon Army is bad. I have to stop them. Mm-hmm. He stopped them because they had the Dragon Ball he wanted.
Yeah. And so we said that, and somebody was like literally tagging their friends, like, what are these guys going on about? And it's like, well, here's the thing. Watch the show.
Or read the manga.
I've been waiting for somebody to be like, man, do you even watch Dragon Ball? And I was like, well, here's the thing. I got a show for you. I don't know. I don't care if you have different opinions than us. Like, I don't give a fuck about that, you know?
I do.
Like, you can have a different interpretation. You can have a different interpretation of Goku, a different interpretation of Pokemon, Full Metal, whatever, you know. But I think it's funny to be like, you're wrong. But about something that like happened.
Yeah.
Like, not interpretation, like this happened.
Like me and David fighting over whether or not Goku can fly before he flies during the, there's no right answer. There is a right answer, but there's no right answer written in the book.
Yeah.
We can argue about that in infinitum. You can have your different opinions, and those will just be opinions. Whether or not Kami trained Goku to like to the point you can actually consider him a teacher is not up for debate. He says, I left most of your training up to Master Popo. Mr. Popo. I keep calling him Master Popo.
He is Master Popo.
Yeah.
No, one thing that's also...
I also couldn't find it.
One thing that's also funny is in the clips, we're reading manga.
Yeah.
Why are you referencing episodes to me? I don't... And that's the thing. You're on my side. There's a specific comment I'm talking about. You're on my side referencing the anime. I'm reading the manga. I need a page. I don't give a fuck if it's episode whatever.
That being said, we did watch the anime at one point in our lives.
Oh, yeah. That's my first, consumption of Dragon Ball.
Yeah. But to be fair, the canon is not in the anime. The canon is in the manga because that's the source material.
I tend to think that like it's its own canon.
It is technically its own canon. However, filler kind of ruins that sometimes. Like with Dragon Ball Z, where, Vegeta destroys a planet before coming to Earth.
That is dumb. You're right.
Yeah. That is why people stick with the source material.
Yeah. And so you with Dragon Ball, the manga is the more reliable narrator. I guess it comes down to like with anime canon, you can really just kind of pick and choose whatever makes you feel better. Because there's really good canon out there, like Gohan training in the woods by himself and kind of learning that he needs to kind of tough it out because there's people he needs to like protect, and he has his own sense of like, okay, I need to train with Mr. Piccolo. I'm not doing this because no one's doing this because they want to. We're doing this because we have to.
Yeah. A lesson he has to learn 9 different times.
Yeah. I like Gohan. However, there's also really bad canon, like Vegeta blowing up a planet, like you said.
Fake Namek.
Yeah.
I actually didn't watch those episodes. So my experience with Z is very limited, actually. I watched Kai up until like the Saiyan arc, and Kai doesn't cover filler. Kai is probably the best way to experience Dragon Ball Z, by the way, through the anime, in my opinion. Just because they do cut a lot of filler, and I think it's a better quality.
They do up like, I think they make it HD.
Yeah, it's a slightly it's a better experience at the very least.
And they redo the sound design.
Yeah, I wouldn't know about the sound design.
It's redubbed as well.
Yeah, but I only got up into the Frieza arc. I didn't finish it. My introduction to the Cell arc was through the Legacy of Goku game. So in my brain, that's the canon.
That's the source material that came first.
God, that game is so good.
I think it's really funny when games make their own endings because the manga's not finished or the anime's not finished. That's what the Naruto Storm games did.
Well, they like peeked into the future for a lot of those in like a weird way.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, it's caught up to the manga. And then it kept going when I was playing one of them. And I went, what do you mean there's more?
Yeah.
You caught up.
They kind of made up some stuff, which I think they were given bullet points like, hey, this is going to happen. Just go ahead and make these. Like obviously Naruto and Sasuke are going to fight again. So, dude. Oops. Sorry, that's just a stupid bit, but I like it. What's so funny about that bit is that like on the TikTok we made, nobody was commenting on that bit. Everyone was like, the one comment we got was like, they moved on to Boruto theories actually.
Which I think is something I said after the clip. Like if the clip had continued, I would have said that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, now they have Boruto at least.
Yeah. So I think
no fault to you, commenter. I'm just telling.
Yeah, you were actually a nice comment.
Yeah.
No, we don't get any mean comments. We get a lot of. Well, we get some.
That one guy, Freedom of Weeb, is wasted on such a small channel. Okay, we'll start bigger next time. My bad.
That made me laugh when you sent that to me. No, I sent you that comment because it just made me laugh. Because it was just like, God, and I was like, oh, so he likes the name.
First of all, I commented that. I was like, he likes the name.
Yeah, that was what I got out of that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he likes the name. That's what this means.
Yeah.
Because I was also like, yeah, the name is fire. Yeah.
God.
Which I was also very surprised that there was like nobody else with that name.
Not anymore. I'm surprised there's no big channels that have got that name.
Yeah.
All of them are like Anime Man, Sea Dog, Giga. That's the only anime people I know.
Markiplier?
PewDiePie?
Totally not Mark.
I think about it, a lot of like names are like not catchy at all.
Markiplier is pretty brandable.
Yeah.
But that's because it's him.
Yeah.
And we all know him now.
Marker players?
I'm surprised it took so long for a guy named Ninja to get famous.
I'm honestly surprised a guy named Ninja got famous. That is such a generic name. That's not like clever or anything.
I'm surprised that the search, like the SEOs, were working for him.
Yeah.
Because now if you look up Ninja, he pops up, I think.
Ruined. Anyway, Pokemon.
Yeah. Sorry.
Manga. Sorry about that. We got distracted. How did we get to? Oh yeah, that's right. We're YouTubers.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, how did we get there? I'd also like to point out, Blue fucking kills that Ghastly, and it's hella fucking. It's like he assassinated that Ghastly.
Oh
after
yeah.
that super nerd fight.
Yeah.
Also, I think that proves Agatha does work with that super nerd because she's taking him.
Yeah.
Why the fuck did I buy you a Pepsi if you're just gonna drink your fucking Dr. Pepper?
Because I can drink them both.
But you're not.
But I had this one open already.
Anyway, he like headshots it. I don't know with what.
You are also drinking two things.
Yeah, that one's empty. I drank that on my way here, and I'm drinking it. I was supposed to drink that while walking, and then I didn't walk. So I just opened it at your front door when you were not letting me in.
Babe.
It's cold outside. But it's so fucking visceral. And this is another thing I really like about the manga, is it's not mega child friendly. It's not terrible. It's not like gore, murder everywhere, but they aren't afraid to show like something die.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm not sure if this Ghastly is dead, despite the fact that it should be.
Well, it's a ghost.
Yeah. Die squared.
Become super ghastly to get more powerful.
He just evolves.
They just that'd be sick.
That'd be very morbid.
It'd be morbid as fuck, but if your ghost Pokemon evolves if it's died enough times, would be kind of cool.
Game Freak, get on it.
Yeah.
They would never.
Yeah. Game Freak, here's my challenge to you. Take our suggestions and make a good game.
Those are two different things.
Yeah.
Please just make a good game.
Yeah.
Legend of Arceus was very fun concept. Looked ugly, ran bad.
People gave me so much shit on TikTok for saying that.
That Legend of Arceus looked bad?
Yeah.
Bro, you should pull up that clip from our gaming where we see that Rapidash glitch into frame.
I did that. Because somebody was complaining about Pokemon, and I was like, they're using similar models to Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
And then somebody went, they don't look the same. And I said, that's not what I said. First off. And second off, it just doesn't, it's not bad. It's not like a terrible looking game. It's just that like with the budget that Game Freak has.
Yeah, I know they're a small indie company, but come on.
And it's not on the developers. It's the publishers. It's the studios.
It depends on how much money they want to funnel into this, and they're trying to maximize profit, not maximize, player enjoyment.
Yeah. Like as a game, like the mechanics of it are fun as fuck.
It was such a fun game.
It's so fun. It just looks really bad.
I wouldn't say really bad. It looks way worse than it should, though.
An open world with that, like, when the draw distance makes everything run at like 2 FPS,
Yeah.
It takes me out of it, and it just needs more polish.
Yeah.
And lean into the aesthetic you're going for, because it does feel like an oil painting at times, but it doesn't commit to that because the weird Pokemon models stand out in their own game.
Yeah. That's why I really like, you can't show me Legend of Arceus and tell me that came after Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, on the same console.
On the same console. Not only that came out on the last gen console as well. That shit is fucking beautiful, open world, and it runs great. The only time anything goes wrong is if you're going too fast and the world in front of you needs to load, it'll freeze you in place so it can load.
Yeah.
It's the only time I've experienced issues, and it'll just load it. It'll be like, hey, this has to happen. And it's not glitchy or anything. It just stops you. It's really weird, though, sometimes.
And I'd argue that Pokemon is the one entity that has, like, Nintendo money,
Yeah.
Like, there's no other game studio that puts enough money in, like Nintendo, to make, like, a polished game. And that's no dig at, like, other games or developers. It's that Nintendo, with their first-party IPs, really put that money in to make that polish. Like, Mario Wonder is really fucking good. The new Tears of the Kingdom looks great. I haven't played it. But it looks really good.
I'm going to play it tonight.
Apparently there's been like things that you do in the game. I think we've talked about this. Things that you do in the game that's like physics based, where like developers are like, how the fuck did they do that? No, like seriously, guys, how did they do that?
God, I love shit like that. I'm so excited to try it out.
Yeah. I still need to play Breath of the Wild.
Yes, you do.
I played a little bit of it, and then I just couldn't get into it. But I'm sure that if I give it another shot, it's gonna be fun. Last game I really like delved into that was like kind of out of my genre was like the new Metroid game, and that was fun. That was fun as fuck.
I have to restart it. My save is gone.
Have you fixed your?
Nope, I have not fixed my Switch. All that shit is gone. We can't continue that playthrough.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Actually, no, I lied. I might have a save of that. I might have a save backup of that. Yeah, but I can't get it out of my computer, so I could only play it on through my computer vicariously.
Yeah.
How? Don't ask.
Because I use my monitor as a monitor.
Yeah.
Stupid. Dumb.
I use it as a capture device.
Yeah. Sorry for a little video game rant.
Oh yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to bring player select into this.
Yeah. What's that?
That was also a fire name. We're pretty good at names.
Yeah. Play Tendo hit different.
That was you. That was you.
That's fair. Detention was cool.
Thank you.
Was that you?
That was me and Ben.
I thought, okay, because I was like, I thought that was Ben.
It was a combination of us. And then player select was also me.
I thought player select was me. I had that name ready.
I don't think so.
Pretty sure.
I don't know. We'll fight over this later.
Yeah.
This is your opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, no, actually, it says in the manga you said it, actually. I take it back.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, so Blue kills Agatha's Gengar. Not for Gengar, fuck. Ghastly. And it kind of shows Yellow's weakness in this spot because Yellow doesn't go for the killing blow on Ghastly to protect Caterpie. And that kind of fucks everything because Yellow was too busy saving the Caterpie to deal with the Ghastly.
Well, I think at this point, everybody was just like, oh, Yellow's going to bow out because he just took a lot of damage. So they weren't even expecting him to fight. He just went out of his way to grab the Caterpie.
Yeah. But I think this really shows a great thing about Blue. And Blue's not like, you should have fucking killed that Caterpie to stop this Ghastly to save everybody. Blue's like, I know you idolize Red. Red would have found a way to do both. And that's the thing you got to be always thinking about. And first of all, kind of rude. Red is gone.
Yeah. Second off, why didn't you do it?
He did.
Blue.
He did.
You know, like he killed the Ghastly.
Yeah.
Why didn't you save the Caterpie too?
Well, the thing is, Blue.
I thought you were on his level.
Blue is there as a spectator because Yellow is trying to follow in Red's footsteps in the moment to rescue him. Not following in the footsteps to try and be like him, following in the footsteps to like backtrack him, like literally following his footsteps. And Blue doesn't need someone who isn't going to help.
Yeah.
So I really like this. Also, this Caterpie is fucking adorable.
It is. Also, traveled a long way.
Not in this volume.
You're right. So Blue
just gives up that Lapras, by the way.
Yeah, but what's funny is that Blue comes in, kills the Ghastly, looking sick as fuck.
Yeah,
might I add. He has this cool scarf around him.
Yeah,
or is it a poncho? Can't remember.
I can.
It's a poncho. It's sick as fuck.
It opens in the front. It's a cloak. He has a shoulder pad on it like a fucking warrior.
He's Piccolo.
Oh my god.
He's wearing a Piccolo fit. That's sick as fuck.
He's like a amateur cosplayer. He made this himself.
Yeah, he gave up gym Pokemon training.
Unrelated. But I've been wanting to make things out of like, because of this, I've been wanting to DIY make things. And the one I ran into is like crocheting plushies.
That would be fun.
And I've seen them. I'm like, fuck, they're cute.
There's this cat I follow on TikTok, and the whole gimmick of this cat is that the owner just will like be watching it, and the cat likes to pretend to eat stuff, and it makes like a crunching noise with its mouth. It's really funny. So this woman was crocheting, and she's like, "What do you want? I'm crocheting." And then the cat looks at the yarn. He goes, like, but like a realistic crunching sound, and he's not even close to biting it, so he's just doing that with his mouth. It's so funny. Cats are funny, man. I don't know.
I literally sent like there was some person who was like, here's some free designs for crocheting like plushies. We're not allowed to sell designs. You're allowed to sell them if you make them, but you got to be like, oh, this is where I got it from. And I was like, you can just do that. You can just be like, yeah. Here's how to make a plushie from what's it called? Cult of the Lamb. And I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, back to Pokemon. Blue is sick. Also, yeah. Agatha. I'm pretty sure Agatha and Professor Oak fucked.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because Blue, I am your grandmother.
I'm your mom. Also, Blaine is back.
Yes.
I like Blaine.
I like Blaine too. He also has a... Wait, not in this chapter.
Yeah, not in this chapter. I would like to point out how weird it is. This chapter... Oh, this chapter was 2 years ago. What the fuck?
What?
So this whole thing with Agatha... Or no, not with Agatha. Was it with Agatha? Yes, it was. Was 2 years before this happened. The whole thing with the Lapras.
Yeah.
I actually didn't realize that until I opened it.
Because he doesn't have his poncho.
Yeah, I was also wondering why he didn't have his poncho. I thought I was rereading it real quick.
That's how we know time has passed.
Yeah. But, we see fucking a Machamp losing to some Magnemites. And then he just kills one after the screw came out.
Yeah. Blue kills a lot of Pokemon.
You know how I told you he killed that Arbok? I'm actually pretty sure that Arbok is still alive.
Are you sure?
No.
I thought he covered it with acid.
You know what? I take it back. It might be a different Arbok. Anyway,
if it feels like we're all over the place with these, I've noticed that with these particular books, we've been kind of all over the place. So is the book.
Yeah. So, like I said, the very end, it says, this was 2 years ago. And then it just talks about Blue for a bit.
Yeah. So it feels like we're jumping all over the place. That's why I recommend you read it. That way you can get a better idea of what we're talking about. For any series that we do, actually, we shouldn't be like a...
Hey, go to the back. Does Cloyster have that crystal in his head normally?
Not that I remember.
Yeah. You think I would have found that? Teslization before... Or teratalization? I don't know what they call it.
He bejeweled the Cloyster.
Anyway.
Yeah, I remember the Cloyster having a clit. I can't find it.
No, that's the horn.
Oh, okay.
The horn's the clit.
I always have trouble finding it. I don't get that.
You don't get what?
Nothing. I decided I don't want to go into this conversation.
Yeah. Why did they make this look like a vagina?
Well, it looks like a cloister, so get your mind out of the gutter. Why did they make the
vagina look like a cloister?
That's what I'm saying. God was like a really big fan of Pokemon.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope that this child comes into play. Also, like, Red was trained in sword fighting. Not Red, Blue was trained in sword fighting.
Yeah, they kind of just blew past that too.
He's so tiny in the flashback.
Yeah.
It's comedic how tiny he is.
It's really funny how they play with proportion a little bit throughout any of these shots, but he has a big head.
Yeah.
And he's tiny as fuck.
They have to give him the big hairstyle else you won't know it's him.
And he ate Charmander for that long?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wait.
Waiting. I'm waiting.
No. Yeah, he does. Sorry. For a second, I'm like, he doesn't have Charmander. Yeah, he does. Totally does.
Anyway, so that's pretty much like everything I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, this, there's so much.
Oh, I lied. There is one more thing I want to talk about. Yellow has that cute drawing Pokedex.
That is cool. I like that too. He's like, these are my friends. I drew them.
It's very cute.
He also just put flat out says, he's like, I don't want to complete the Pokedex. I don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah, I'm not Red.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I respect that.
Yeah. I'm like most children. I'm not completing that Pokédex.
Yeah. Also, Red's not completing the Pokedex either.
Yeah.
And Professor Oak is fucking pissed because he's making the new dex, which is kind of like hinting at the new region, I think.
Yeah. Which I think is a good time to say, like, after these first 7 volumes, we'll be taking a break from Pokemon.
Yeah.
So
Will we come back? Most likely. Eventually.
eventually, yeah. But for variety's sake.
Yeah. I actually already have the next set. That's a lie. I'll have them by the time this comes out, though.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. So if you like this podcast, like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is that you get your podcast, please rate us 5 stars. It helps us out quite a bit. And follow us on TikTok and Instagram because we post clips mainly on TikTok. And it's a nice way to kind of give bite-sized little samples of what we're doing in each episode and engage with you guys.
Share us with your friends.
Yeah.
If you guys want to buy these manga, you can find them on places like Amazon and Thrift Books. That's where I get mine. I
Yeah.
love Thrift Books. I wish we were sponsored by them. I love you, Thrift Books.
Yeah. Thrift Books. I've been finding some copies of manga at Barnes & Noble. Sometimes they have sales. A lot of times they don't. So I would avoid going there. But if
Barnes & Noble is like a little bit premium, but you get to buy them there. They also have like a bunch of niche things.
They do.
Like, but although you can find them somewhere else.
Yeah. And if you have local comic shops, I would check there.
Support
as
your
well.
local comic shops. Support Thrift Books. If you need to, then use Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Yeah. Our local comic shop closed down.
That was a card shop. That was just a
Oh,
card
yeah,
shop.
yeah. It was just a card shop. And it closed down.
Because the guys were there playing WoW and smelled a lot. Literally ignored us when we walked in the store because he was too busy playing WoW.
Which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty based.
Right when we got into playing cards, too. If they didn't close down that card shop, we might be like a card podcast. That's a lie. We're not going to be a card podcast. You don't play enough cards.
That's true. It's because it's expensive.
Yeah, I've got a new mini hobby of buying 2 starter decks for every card game I play. I have 2 starter decks for Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Weishwars.
Well, you got way more than you get that for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I have over 60 decks for Yu-Gi-Oh right now.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I kind of just keep build. It's my favorite thing to do is just to theory out a deck to build for cheap and then buying it.
For reference sake, we started playing Yu-Gi-Oh at the same time.
He has like
I have 9.
Yeah.
I have 9 decks.
In fact, he got me into Yu-Gi-Oh with Duel Links.
Yes. And then we played the physical game.
Yeah.
And I just bought the starter deck for one of the fucking coolest.
Yeah, he bought the triple starter.
decks.
He brought the triple starter deck and a hero deck. For the Destiny Hero one, right?
Oh, yeah. I kind of
gave away all those pieces eventually.
Yeah. I put a video on that where I pulled a Malicious Bane card, which is no longer as expensive as it was.
Yeah, it's incredibly cheap now.
Yeah. But
That being
video was
said,
cool.
I have so many decks. I also have like what's it called? Fucking One Piece, Card Fight Vanguard, the fucking Shadowverse game. I have structure decks for all that shit. There's one that I'm missing. Lorcana.
Surprised we never got into the Dragon Ball game.
That's a Dragon Ball game?
Yeah.
I like Dragon Ball for its fight scenes. I actually don't like any of the characters that aren't Videl or Super or Great Saiyaman. Those are my only characters that I'm like, I actively like. Piccolo, I lied.
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm like, put some respect on Piccolo's name.
But the thing is,
Krillin.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck. You know what? Maybe I will build a deck.
Maybe I do like Dragon Ball. You don't like Vegeta?
No.
That's fair.
I mean, he's just a villain.
Not anymore.
His redemption was kind of like, well, Goku's really strong now.
I like what they're doing in Super.
Oh, I love what they're doing in Super. Super is like fucking, I don't know why, but Super was like so lost. And then they were like, I found the way. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I like that. Thank you, Super.
Yeah.
Plus, I like Beerus. I actually really like Super. Would I say it's better than the original? No.
Yeah. I like certain parts of Super.
It's one of those things that I'm like, I know some of this is bad, but I enjoy it all.
The first half is bad.
Eh.
The second half is like, okay, we're picking up. We're doing better.
I like the World 7 tournament. World 7-6 tournament.
The second I saw the Great Saiyaman and Gamma 1 and 2 posing together, I was like, this is peak.
Oh, the Great Saiyaman, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is peak. Yeah, it like
so good.
No, I remember sitting there watching Dragon Ball Superhero and then Goten and Trunks pull up and they just rush in and we were like, base form?
Yeah. Oh god, that movie is so fucking weird.
The Dragon Ball movies are always stupid because they send people in base form. Because they accidentally power scaled Vegeta to be like super weak in Broly.
Yeah. So for people who didn't watch the Dragon Ball Broly movie, the Super one, they have Vegeta fight Broly, scale through all of his forms up to Super Saiyan Blue, and still get his ass beat. Which is like, okay, that's fine. Broly's kind of like weird power scaling. Then they have Goku go in base form to fight, and he's holding his own. And then he does the same thing where he goes through every form. And I was like, you didn't need to do that to Vegeta.
Yeah. I also think it's weird. I know it's for spectacle, but how much effort they put in to go into transformations when it shouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think transformations are dumb, but
they're so sick though.
They are sick. They look sick in the movies. Because like, why are you trying so hard to go blue? It should be effortless now.
Yeah. Speaking of transformation, I think the only show that does transformations well, or forms rather, not transformation, forms well, is One Piece. I really like One Piece forms. I take that back. Actually, you know what another one does? Hunter x Hunter actually does forms really well.
What forms are in Hunter x Hunter?
Killua's God form. I don't know what he calls it.
Oh, Godspeed? Godspeed is sick. I fucking love Godspeed.
Yeah, and the only reason why it's so sick is because it makes sense. There's a resource that he has to spend, and he physically needs to recharge it. This isn't like, I have to need my key until I'm strong enough to beat Boo.
Yeah.
But like, he's like, I need to plug in myself to an outlet.
I don't have a problem with the concept of Naruto's Kurama form. It's just the fact that like it kind of it doesn't bug me.
It bugs me. I don't know why it exists.
What bugs me is how much fucking chakra Naruto has.
Yeah. Naruto's Kurama form makes no sense. I don't know why it is the way it is. He's the only one with a tailed beast form.
I think they chalk that up to the fact that Kurama is stronger than all the other tailed beasts combined for some reason.
You chalk that up to that. There is no reason for it in the manga.
Sure, but that's the only thing like I can think of is that he's the only tailed beast with that much chakra for some reason.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. I think it might be that Kurama is supposed to be the, what's the word for it? The inheritor of the will of the brothers. He's supposed to like approve of the one that Naruto is supposed to be. So that's why his form is so visually aesthetic to the sage forms.
Yeah.
But that's all conjecture. The Naruto writing is not very coherent in the last part. Spoilers, by the way. Oops. My bad.
Sorry. I think with that form, I might actually cut this out. I think with that form, my problem is not necessarily that. The biggest problem for me is that it's there at all.
Yeah.
But the mechanics of which that it works is like fine for me. Where it's like Naruto and Kurama linking their chakra together, and then now it's like a protective cloak that he can utilize. It doesn't feel like he's like, oh, I'm at a limited resource because we've already established that chakra is not an issue for Naruto.
Yeah.
So like, there's no form of suspended belief that Naruto can run out at any point. Whereas they want you to believe that with Super Saiyan, where it's like, oh, he can only go as far as how much ki he has, and we know Goku is limited on ki. So the fact that he can sustain it for as long as he can before, he actually, fixes that issue.
Yeah.
Is kind of like, okay, so how long can he actually hold it,
Yeah.
Which I liked that they did that in the time chamber where they were like, oh, we've made this our base form essentially.
Yeah, we've mastered this. This costs 0 ki to maintain.
Yeah. And then they just forgot that.
Well, they didn't. They brought it back, actually, which I really like. They brought it back in Super.
In Super, yes, but I'm talking more like about Boo.
Oh yeah, well, Boo is bad.
Boo is mid.
The writing in Boo is bad.
I find it to be like, it feels bad because the rest of the show had felt so good at that point. Because to me, it's just like, okay.
I brought this up. I don't like characters who are super mega regenerative. Cell was okay until he exploded.
I think it was fine because the whole point is like, okay, because it wouldn't have felt satisfying, I think.
If he had killed himself?
Yeah.
I agree.
But I think having Cell, because Cell wasn't like, he could bring himself back, but it was harder for Boo because Boo, for some reason, could put himself together a lot easier.
Well, he not only could he put himself together, every single piece turned into its own Boo.
Yeah.
And then just came together. Cell regenerates.
Yeah, which is why I was like okay with it.
Yeah.
Because and the whole point was like Gohan is strong enough to wipe him out at a cellular level.
Yeah. Which is dumb because I feel like anyone really could have if they were able to hit him once.
I think I would argue only Goku.
No, Vegeta definitely could have.
I don't think so.
If he could, no, I don't think he was capable of doing it like in a fight. But if Cell was like, yes, try to kill me, I won't move, because he dodges the super the Final Flash, Big Bang, Final Flash.
Final
Flash. He partially dodges the Final Flash. Like he has to move out of the way to not die.
Was that in perfect form?
Yes. He takes out an arm in his perfect form.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. And if you were able to at least destroy a part of him, you can theoretically destroy him at a cellular level if you sustain that. Or if you hit him head on.
Yeah, I would say...
But that explosion should have just killed Cell, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say he would be able to do it before the explosion, but after he got the Zenkai boost.
Yeah. Also, he shouldn't have been able to teleport back.
That's what I thought too.
Like,
I don't know why he learned instant transmission.
When you see Goku instant transmissioned with me, and then I just remembered it. No.
Yeah. That's not how.
Make him walk back from Otherworld.
Because my thing is like, did he put himself together and get a little bit of Goku's DNA? Because that's the only thing I can think of.
That doesn't make any sense, unfortunately.
Well, he learned people's moves from the DNA he has in him.
Well, that's kind of true, but why would he get Goku's DNA?
I don't know. In the explosion, there's a little particle of skin.
We're reaching.
There's a little particle of skin that he got in there. You know, that's the only thing I can think of.
Like sucked his cock real quick.
Because he learned the Mankako Suppo somehow. And that's like a distinct move. That's not even just a beam.
Yeah.
That's a special beam.
Yeah. It drills things.
Yeah, that's what makes it special.
God. Anyway, we should talk about this when we're in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching.